Alright folks, welcome back to MPGL Indian Qualifiers. We have Signify versus Wipeout. This is a best of 3 for the Indian slot at MPGL. My name is Floki, joining me is CloudX. And CloudX, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm quite excited for this matchup. Signify Wipeout, both fairly well-known names on the Indian circuit, and both indeed deserving for a shot to represent the country at the MPGL's next leg. Signify, probably the favorites going into this one, but Wipeout no pushovers either. I mean,
Yeah,
they've won themselves this slot through the open qualifiers for the MPGL India, and they've got what it takes to take down Signify.
yep, probably. I mean, Wipeout, they did have players that won last year's Taiwan Excellence Cup, if I'm correct. I think that was Clown K and Pinkman? No, Pinkman was a part of Aggressive 5, my bad.
Yes, Pikmin was aggressive 5, Clown Care was part of Puriza.
Puriza.
And we've also got some more known names in there. For starters, there's Divine, who's for the longest time been known as a pub star in Indian Dota, but then he's actually broken out into a competitive team of late. We've got Haunter, who I believe is playing with the name Shiv Tandav over here.
Yeah.
Haunter was one of, if not the best known Enigma player back in the day. I mean, his
Oh,
Enigma was the stuff of legends back in the Net Break and Oblique Gaming days. But I'm
I
not
have.
sure what role he's playing now.
Well, sounds like he's a position 4. I mean, Enigma back then used to be played in the position 4, if I'm correct, during those neck break eras, and wasn't really an offlaner. Because the jungle gave you a bunch of XP and core, like much more than it does now,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Well,
Uh,
what do you think of this opening picks by Wipeout? I think that's rather unusual that they opened with the Underlord as well as a Night Stalker in the first phase itself.
I can't say I'm against it. For starters, it's two really tanky heroes. It's a fair bit of aggression and control coming out between the Underlord and the Night Stalker. Signify they've opted to pick up the Tiny for themselves as their first pick. I think. I mean, it's still really open-ended right now. Wipeouts opted to go tanky with their draft. They're probably just hoping to survive through Signify's early onslaught. And
Hmm.
I've got to say, Pinkman's been one of the smarter Dota players that I've seen in the past. He was known for some really spot-on rotations back in the aggressive 5 days alongside
Yeah.
Pasol. Pasol is a part of the Signify roster, but it doesn't look like he's playing this particular game. However, Pinkman definitely has insight into Signify. In fact, Aggressive 5 was probably the only Indian team that has ever taken a game of Signify in the past. So
Yeah.
they do
I
have
remember watching
some
that
sort
game.
of knowledge, some sort of insight into what Signify is going to do here.
Yeah, it looks like they're aware of Signify's ways. I mean, you never ban out the OD against Signify. That's Signify's go-to hero for Swifty. This is gonna force them to play a little bit out of the comfort zone and probably go for heroes like the Shadow Fiend or the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, Signify choosing to go for the Disruptor as their secondary pick.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think Disruptor is not a bad choice versus a pick like the Night Stalker, a hero that basically comes running at you, relies on his mobility. Disruptor essentially shuts most of that down with the glimpse and the kinetic field. But yeah, this is a Wipeout favorite, or rather, I should say this is a Hyderabad favorite. The Warlock pick coming out here.
Hmm.
There's definitely synergy with the Underlord and the Warlock, a fair bit of AoE control, and the amplification coming out from the Fatal Bonds and the Firestorm in an area of effect. In theory, it sounds nice, but
But
executing it
yeah,
requires your opponents to clump up, and honestly, it's silly to expect Signify to fall prey to that.
as far as I remember, Fatal Bonds can only target 5 heroes at max level. Can't, am I right? Previously, it used to be something absolutely ridiculous, like 12 or 11 units can be Fatal Bonded together, but people started exploiting that, so they changed it to, I think, a maximum of 5 units.
Signify going to respond with the Monkey King pickup here. Um, Still not entirely convinced. I mean, yeah, the Monkey King is nice versus the Underlord in the laning stage. However, come mid and late game stage, I feel like a core or a one position Monkey King starts to fall off. Mid game, sure, he peaks, but then if you drag the game out for too long, Monkey King kind of falls off towards the end of the game.
Hmm.
I'm wondering if Wipeout recognizes this and just plays turtle style Dota.
Yeah, well, they certainly could, but looks like that is not the plan. They're gonna pick up Faceless Void, so they want to fight early with these Chronospheres, and they want to put pressure on Signify, basically. They want to respond to teamfight with teamfight. They're not afraid of diving headfirst into them. I mean, that's what their draft is telling me at the moment. Because you have the heroes like the Warlock, the Underlord, the Faceless Void, and Oh, okay, so Signify are gonna pick up the Naga Silence, so they now have the Naga Disruptor combo.
Yeah, and they've also got a deterrent for the Faceless Void and his Chronosphere. Pop asleep as soon as he pops the Chrono, and you're essentially shaving off pretty much the entirety of his Chronosphere duration. Um, Signify's lineup seems like they want to go running at you in the early mid game stages. Wipeout's lineup seems like they want to clump up as five and do some serious work together.
Yep.
The problem with Wipeout's lineup though is they're reliant on some fairly big cooldowns with the Chrono and the Chaotic offering, which
Yeah.
means there'll be that window of opportunity that Signify can exploit time and again. Because honestly, they're not really reliant on their cooldowns on the side of Signify. Naga Sleep is essentially to simply counter the Void. Monkey King doesn't really rely on his Wukong's command. He does a fair bit of damage if just given that positional advantage. And yeah, Tiny, known to be a hero that loves to fight frequently.
Indeed. I think this is going to come down to the BKB timings for the cores of Wipeout, really, because you want to have those BKBs up to make sure you get the damage off in the Chronosphere. And speaking of damage, I don't think Wipeout actually have enough of it, because you only have the Faceless Void who does some damage. Warlock isn't the best in terms of dealing damage. He can amplify damage for sure, but you need to have some inherent damage for that. So,
I think they'll be okay in the mid game stage at least because the I mean it's quite easy to underestimate the amount of damage coming out from Fatal Bond's Chrono and just a simple Firestorm on top of it. However, again, this is all going to boil down to whether or not Wipeout can catch Signify with multiple hero Chronospheres, with the Warlock and the Underlord in position. And all of that just goes to well, it goes to shit basically if Naga's in the vicinity with the song available.
oh yeah, now this Buck pickup as well. I think it's gonna make team fight a bit harder for Wipeout because you can initiate onto the Void with the silence and sort of blow him up. You have the follow up on the Disruptor as well, so Dream Coil, Static Storm dropped on Void, and there's not much he can really do.
Yeah. What's missing in Signify's lineup is also an ability to break buildings efficiently. I mean,
Oh
the
yeah.
Tiny does help in that department, but pushing the Tiny out on the front lines like that, when I feel like Tiny is going to be the one that wants to jump in with an early blink and initiate, may not be the best choice. But yeah,
Yep.
they've got a fair bit of control. They've got the puck to hold heroes in position while the Tiny and the Monkey King beat up on them. They've got the silence, which is ever so useful versus this wombo combo lineup coming out from Wipeout. If you can simply jump behind enemy lines, pop a silence on the Warlock, and just delay the chaotic offering or any of Warlock's abilities while the Void comes in to initiate, you could throw a real wrench into Wipeout's plans. But look at
Indeed.
this, Wipeout just responds with a last pick Templar Assassin versus that puck.
Well, so that matchup certainly does favor the Templar Assassin, but overall, going and looking at the draft, do you think this Templar Assassin is gonna have a okay time mid game? Because I think there might be a bit too much control for her to handle.
Yeah, I feel like this is a bit of a misfit. Um, yeah, well, yeah, technically she does turn into a ranged hero, and if you go for the Dragonlance, she's got a bit more to work with. However, I'm not entirely convinced that the TA is the best choice when you've got a Void alongside you. I was kind of expecting an Invoker. I'm not sure if the Invoker was
Yeah,
banned out there.
no, Invoker wasn't banned out. Even I was expecting the Invoker. I was thinking that with the Invoker, they have a lot more late game scaling potential. Really good against Monkey King and all those heroes. Another
Yeah,
hero that comes to mind, but is probably never gonna get picked in this meta, is the Ember Spirit, to be honest.
yeah. God bless his soul. It's been a while since he's witnessed competitive play, huh?
Yeah, I miss that hero.
That they've got the upper hand in the later stages of this game.
Hmm.
However, I don't think Signify is going to let it get to that point. Signify is a team that's known to decimate their opponents early on in the laning stage and then just simply not make a mistake thereafter. While they haven't had much success on the Southeast Asian circuit, they've just been dominating Indian Dota for the longest time now.
I
Wipeout.
agree.
They're clearly the underdogs going into this matchup, but I'd love to see it go to a game 3 if not a complete victory for Wipeout.
Yeah, they are walking towards in the offlane for the smoke. Looks like they want to get an early ward going or possibly find a pickoff. They do see Mr. Crowley, but they're not going to break the smoke. Crowley shouting mercy for his son. They're just going to ward and walk away.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Wipeout could have got that pick off quite comfortably if Crowley just made a bit of a misstep. However,
Indeed.
gonna see an early Dire Observer ward drop down here. This was without
Yeah.
Crowley spotting them out, so the D ward may be difficult, unless of course the Underlord makes it obvious here in the off lane. This is gonna be a really difficult lane for the Underlord though. I
Yep.
mean, the first 2 or 3 levels, I think the Underlord is sort of okay. He shouldn't really die. But thereafter, they can just leave the Monkey King alone versus him and go ganking and pressuring the other lanes.
Hmm.
Battle
But look
starts
what the
in
Underlord is
3,
trying to do. He already has
2,
boots level 1 and he's gonna try to pull the wave
Uh-oh.
towards him.
That's a precarious position to be in, and wow, he's actually gonna have to pop a Firestorm to pull the creep wave. Even takes a hit from the tower. Crowley's in the vicinity, so this is not gonna end nicely for the Underlord. Oh, look at
Oh,
this.
okay. Crowley going for the outplay. Well, he is scoping up a fair amount of damage here. Has the TP to go out, but needs to be careful of the glimpse. If he gets caught by the glimpse, he's dead. And I think he already knows that he's gonna die. He's just accepting his fate. Yeah, he should end up falling here. Thunderstrike upon him. He might actually be able to get out. He's dragging the
Wait,
mid creep wave with
did
him as
Crowley just
well.
cancel his
Yeah,
TP?
he did. I think he wants the kill on the Underlord, but the Underlord, he's just dragging the creep wave and taking them for a joyride all the way around the Radiant map. And now
How is this efficient?
it's not efficient, but oh, is he? And he makes it out alive. Okay.
So what happens here now? Does the creep wave go back to mid, or does it just march all the way back? Okay, they're going bottom.
Okay.
Okay then.
Well, this creep wave. Oh boy.
Well,
Well,
you know what?
that's one way to screw up Signify's lanes. I mean, we always talk about how their lanes are strong, and Underlord doing what needs to be done in a clowny fashion, but gets it done nonetheless.
Yeah, well, Blizzard's gonna be a little annoyed with that. He's missed one range creep at the minimum under his tower. But now he's got a massive wave coming his way, and he's gonna be level 3 by the time this wave is cleared up. Which means that if the Underlord sticks around here, he could even die under his own tower.
Yeah, I agree. But it's still screwing up Blizzard's last hits a lot. You see, he didn't get a single last hit from that creep wave there.
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't have the Quelling Blade with him, so he's even chosen to go for the boot. So he knows that he'd rather prioritize the kill on the Underlord under the tower. Heck, they might even be able to take this tower at this point. Look at this. There's another creep wave coming in to join it up.
Oh boy. Yeah, they might just find this tower really early on. And Underlord, look at him. He is afraid. He does not want to be standing under his tower in sight vision.
Dire's bottom tower.
He
At
knows-
least he's gonna get a lot of experience from this.
Yeah, well, he has the Arcane Rune for now. The Firestorm as well. Mid lane though. Swifty might be in some trouble. The Illusory Orb, John back, and he's fine. Pinkman didn't have the point in silence, so can't really disrupt the buck over there.
Okay, so all said and done, that actually worked out for the Underlord. No first blood going over to Signify. He gets up to level 2, but as I say that, they're going for the kill on him.
It's like he's gonna be covered with a fair amount of damage. Blizzard, he is looking to chase, but decides not to, as he would have needed 2 more hits to get the kill, and might have ended up falling for that one.
Yeah,
They do zone
unfortunately,
the other one.
Crowley took a bit of a beating there as well, so they just couldn't pursue further.
Oh yeah, Crowley dropping low on HP as well. Doesn't have the glimpse either.
Something's going horribly wrong on the top lane, by the way.
Yeah.
Tiny is up to 11 CS. I'm
Um,
not sure how
okay.
that happens, especially when there's a full tri lane up against him.
Yeah, I think this might have been some creep pulling shenanigans that we missed, that Signify pulled of their own
Yeah.
while we were watching all these other lanes. Mid lane though, mid lane's looking quite good for this Templar Assassin. She does have the CS advantage. It's a small one, but nevertheless, it is some advantage. As I say that though, Swifty, he has more levels, I mean more XP than the TA does.
Up top,
Oh,
Eggy. Tossing him back to the tower. Heck,
Yeah,
Pinkman
Pink.
might just go down here.
he doesn't have mana. No Chance is chasing him with the boots, but Pinkman, he might just be fast enough to run away from this, but the net. He's gonna catch him with the Riptide. No Chance should be able to find the kill. The Warlock is coming in, but No Chance with the last slice of his blades finds the kill.
That was quite unfortunate actually, because the nighttime just kicked in as No Chance got that last auto attack off. If it was even a second off, Night Stalker would have had the movement speed to get the hell away from him.
Indeed. Well, in the top lane, looks like Tiny is doing well for himself. He's picked up a wand, sitting on a bunch of gold. He's queued up an Aquila, so looks like he wants to be going for that sort of right-click build.
What's interesting is that the puck is just outplaying Templar Assassin in the middle lane.
Yeah,
Not CSing him, he's over and above him in terms of net worth. I don't even know how this happens.
Yeah, I mean, this is just Swifty things, right? He's not nearly on top of the leaderboards for no reason. He's really good. Top lane, the Pinkman might find the kill onto Negi, and Negi does end up dropping. No chance is hot on his tail, but he has no mana to catch him. Pinkman might just be able to run away from this one, and looks like he will.
Radiant's bottom
Well,
tower is
back to the
under
middle lane though, there's definitely a possibility where the puck can at least out CS or at least keep up in terms of CS with the Templar Assassin. I had a discussion with Crowley about this a few months ago, in fact.
Okay.
However, I'm gonna hold that thought because on the bottom lane, it
Yeah.
looks like the Underlord's about to drop.
Yeah, Blizzard does have the boundless strike, and he's gonna find the kill with it. Another kill going his way. Monkey King is finally starting to make up for all the lost CS because of the first creep wave pull.
Yeah, this time he was prepared with the Orb of Venom and the boots, so that was a guaranteed 4th Jingu Mastery stack on him, and with that the Boundless Strike does a lot
Mid
more
lane,
damage.
the Night Stalker is just gonna casually pop a void at the puck and run away.
Swifty is playing extremely cautiously here. He knows that the Night Stalker's on the prowl. He's always sticking to the left side of the middle lane, sorry, the right side of the middle lane, where it's unlikely that he gets ganked.
Well, looks like might be some action in the top lane. No chance is closing in onto the void, but looks like he just wants to zone him out a bit.
It's, I mean, it's looking like a
Okay, as I say that,
painful early
Negi
game.
might be in trouble as they're going up onto him. He does try to hold them off for a bit longer using the avalanche, but he might just end up falling. Yeah, and he does. The bash from the void and the void is going to secure the kill. No chance. Might be in some trouble, but he's pretty damn tanky. 9 armor along with a stout shield. Not the easiest target to go on.
That's the second death on the Tiny now. He's starting to fall behind in terms of net worth as well. And
Yep.
the extra money going in favor of the Void there on the back of some assist goal helps him sort of keep pace with the Monkey King. However, Monkey King is clearly winning this early game hard.
Yeah,
they're
bottom
gonna
lane. They're diving tier 2 towers for the Thunderlord, and he's gonna end up dropping. Blizzard extracting his vengeance upon him. He was not at all happy about that first pull, and evidently just diving tier 2 towers at this point in the game.
There's nothing that the Underlord can do here anymore. I think it's in his best interest to just leave. He's opted to even pick up a Quelling Blade. That's just so many questions over there.
I mean, that's
Why?
extremely
I mean, does he
optimistic.
expect to have an opportunity here in front of the Monkey King? I mean, the moment Blizzard sees him, he's just gonna start right-clicking him.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting the Knight as well, but bottom lane, Blizzard might actually be in some trouble as Pinkman has rotated in, trying to find the kill onto the Night Stalker. I mean, the Night Stalker is trying to find the kill onto the Monkey King. Monkey King turns around with the Jingu. He's able to get a slap down. Firestorm is only going to clip Blizzard. They might end up losing the Night Stalker, and indeed they will. And now the Fatal Bonds, along with the Shadow Word, is doing a fair bit of work on
Underlord
Blizzard.
is dead.
Oh,
5
no.
seconds still.
Underlord. Is he
Boundless.
gonna live? Crowley doesn't have mana though. Oh, but the Boundless Strike only clips onto him and Blizzard.
Crowley's
It's
just
not-
waiting. He wants that Thunder Strike. He doesn't really want to use anything
Oh
else.
no, Blizzard.
There it is.
Yeah, I mean, they end up losing the Underlord, but they might end up losing the Monkey King? No, the Shadow Word is not gonna take him out. Never mind.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
Well, that went horribly wrong for Wipeout. What was supposed to
Yep.
be a gank on the Monkey King ends up with a dead Night Stalker and a dead Underlord.
So that's
Although I have to
something
commend the efforts of Wipeout, they're looking a lot more stable than any of these other teams we have noticed against Signify. Other teams, they just completely crumble, but looks like they are holding better than most of those other teams at this point. So Wipeout showing that they're worthy of this.
Yeah, but my concern is the
That's
Night
all.
Stalker has not gotten much done here in the early game. He's at level
Oh,
3,
yeah.
8 minutes in. It's gotten to the point where they just have to sacrifice the middle lane and give it to him for EXP. That means that Templars, yeah, she's got the Blightstone, she's cleaning up on some ancient stacks, but it's not as efficient as they'd like it to be.
Yeah, Swifty, he's just gonna be able to walk away. But he might just go for the turnaround here. Dream Coil has been dropped. No chances here as well. They glimpse back the Templar Assassin, but the Templar Assassin is turning around onto the Puck, and the Puck jaunts away, is able to survive. Templar Assassin as well. He's gonna be able to live, and now the Faceless Void comes and hesitates. He's not gonna pop the Chronosphere. Time Walk is off cooldown. Has the Chronosphere now. Is he gonna go for it? And yes, he does. Catches 2 heroes, but where's the follow-up? The follow-up is not there. Now Crowley, he might end up paying for it with his life as the Templar Assassin slices and dices and finds the kill onto the Disruptor's head. So at the end of the day, Many ultimates committed. Dream Coil from the side of Signify and Chronosphere from the side of Wipeout. They don't manage to do anything with the Chronosphere, but they do find a kill onto Crowley for the Templar Assassin.
That could have been a kill on the Void, but the Shadow Word helped him stay alive through the Thunderstrike. All the while though, Blizz is just ensuring that he continues farming here on the bottom lane and keeps the Underlord at bay.
Yep.
That did go okay for Wipeout, I have to admit. I think they're showing some signs of
Top
life.
lane, Pinkman.
He's too tanky. Infused raindrops too much versus the puck at this point.
Indeed. Well, the last charge is gonna go away, so unless he decides to build an own with it. Mid lane though.
A decent bit of a recovery for the Templar Assassin as well.
Yeah,
He's now
as a
above
DP
the
as
puck
well.
in terms of net worth, and
Crowley is just waiting to get his level 6. He might pop his static storm if he finds it. Super close, but not gonna find it before the siege creep, and that's gonna make sure that the DA lives.
up top?
Yeah,
Maybe?
top lane. Negi.
Probably.
He might end up falling over here. Has used both of his. Okay, he's used his free throw. Does use the toss. Is gonna go for the TP out, and is he gonna be successful? No.
Good
Yeah,
stuff from
surely.
Pinkman there. He put a point in the silence and made sure that No Chance couldn't pop the sleep.
Oh boy, that was pretty good. But looks like Divine might end up falling. Yeah, Banquet with his life. So at the end of the day, it's the off-laner for position 5.
Middle lane as well. Looks
Oh,
like
God.
Peace just barely
DA.
survives.
Oh god, that was both ultimates committed from Crowley as well. Oh no, is he gonna find the kill on the Buck with the Psionic Trap? Buck, he's dropping pretty low and he ends up finding the kill.
Nice. They actually got